If Saquon really wants to stick it to the New York Giants, and Josh Jacobs really wants to stick it to Mr. McDaniels and that Raiders team, I would sit out 5 games. I'd still get paid. It's still guaranteed. That franchise tag is still guaranteed as long as they get in and they play in the 6th game of the season, which tells me that the New York Giants sitting back and not giving Saquon Barkley the money that he deserves, and I do believe this. And I know everybody sits here. Jeff tells me all the time that running backs should not get paid. They're so expendable. You could draft a running back in the 6th round, the 5th round, the 4th round. They could be undrafted. We've seen how many running backs undrafted that play a big part on their teams or in respectable teams in the NFL. I sit here today and I wonder what Joe Schoen was thinking when he said, at the final hour, the final minutes, the final seconds of trying to make this deal right, you know what? It's $2 million. I don't want to give him $2 million more because I don't think he's worth it. He's not worth the $2 million extra that we should be paying him. When you gave Daniel Jones, $40 million this offseason because of one good season. And I am a Daniel Jones supporter. I have always thought Daniel Jones was going to be a good quarterback in this league. How do you not give a player of Saquon Barkley's ability the kind of money that he absolutely deserves? You sit back and I could go back and forth about who Saquon Barkley is. And really, in the last 4 seasons, how many full seasons has Saquon Barkley played? 2? But the 2 seasons he's played, he's been a top 4, top 3 running back in the NFL. How could you not give him that kind of money when your team is going to be depending on the running back position probably about 50% of the time this season? Who is going to be your running back if Saquon Barkley decides to sit for the first 5 games of the season? Do you think you're going to get enough production at that position to help you win? Because honestly, the Giants' schedule this year is so much harder than it was last year. They're going to be mixed with the AFC East this year. The hardest division in football. You got to play Miami. You got to play the Jets. You got to play the Patriots. And you have to play the Buffalo Bills.
Miami and Buffalo back-to-back on the road, too.
And you don't have Saquon Barkley. I can't sit here and say, hey, you know what? You don't need Saquon Barkley. You're going to win because you got Darren Waller. Darren Waller hasn't played 2 full seasons in the last 3. How could any of the Giant fans believe that Darren Waller is going to be their savior this year? And I don't want to hear about Hyatt. There's stories coming out from the organization that he's having problems catching the ball. I think he's a good pick. I think he was a steal in the 3rd round. I saw what he did against Alabama this year, but that doesn't mean he's going to be a great NFL player. How many players were great college players, wide receivers, running backs, quarterbacks? They go to the NFL and they suck. Saquon Barkley is a great running back. Joe Schoen, I understand he's trying to wheel and deal. He's trying to fix up the contracts that Gettleman just absolutely burned his bridges with the New York Giants when he decided to retire or be fired. And then we sit here with Josh Jacobs. Are you kidding me? How could McDaniels, after ruining his relationship with Derek Carr, Darren Waller, with that whole organization, and the only reason why he still has a job right now is because Vegas would look stupid if they fired him in 1 year, a.k.a. the Denver Broncos. They'll wait another year. They'll still not make the playoffs. With all the additions that they made, it's not going to make a difference. They don't even know if Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be healthy in the beginning of the season. And you have the most dominant force at running back right now. He was the best running back all around in the NFL last year. It wasn't even close. It wasn't Derrick Henry. It wasn't Christian McCaffrey. It wasn't even Saquon Barkley. It was Josh Jacobs. And this guy wanted $26 to $32 million guarantee. What is he, 25, 26 years old? He's probably going to be able to play for at least 5 more years at the top of his game.